Hello, hello, hello. Mic test. Mic test. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, guys, and welcome to the 42nd Trading Opportunities webinar. This is Nirav. And I'm just setting up the system. If you are already in the chat, basically the live chat, hello and welcome. And let me know how are you doing while we set things up. So it looks like the broadcast is working fine from my end. If someone in the audience can also confirm. Stock Hero, good top of the day. Hey, top of the day to you too as well. Looking good. Thank you for the confirmation. Good top of the day. Okay. So in that case, let me quickly start things off. First things first, quick disclaimer for legal purposes here, suggesting that all content presented is for educational purposes. I'm not soliciting buy or sell. If you do go on to use the views presented here for your trading, investing, you yourselves will be liable for your profit, loss, or loss of profit. And you can read the rest over here on screen. With that out of the way, let me give you a quick introduction about who I am and about this webinar series which we are currently running. So my name is Nirav and I'm the admin and owner of 50eyes.com website as well as 50 Eyes Market Analysis YouTube channel, which is the channel where this broadcast is currently being is going live, right? And we have done so far 41 webinars before this one. So this is the 42nd live webinar called Trading Opportunities. And as the name suggests very clearly, we will be discussing trading opportunities. Yeah, so as I was saying, we will be discussing trading opportunities on some Forex pairs, crude gold, and then S&P Nifty, and lastly, we'll discuss BTC. That's the way we always proceed. These webinars are done Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. GMT. Right. So you can join in live if you want to ask any questions, because I only answer questions of the live chat related to markets, right? And most importantly, we have so far in these 40 webinars, because what happened in the 41st we will discuss today, but in the 40 webinars so far we have got 45 plus trading opportunities. I'm saying 45 plus because 45 big moves we have caught, and then the small moves which we do not necessarily count every single time. So 45 plus trades or big movements we have caught. Lastly, before we proceed, here is a quick track record of my work for the last 6 years. Accuracy record here is a Google spreadsheet, basically, which is a collection of all the public live webinars as well as videos that I have produced. And why I do show it off is because we have 80% plus execution accuracy for 6 years consecutively. Generally, in this industry, even 60% is considered very high. And my consecutive record stands above 80% plus for 6 years. As you can see, 2021 82.22, 2020 88.52, 2019 84.88, so on and so forth, almost touching 90. So that was about it for my introduction, right? Lastly, you can follow me on Twitter, and as I was saying, and I have said in so many of the past webinars, we do need a lot of public support, right? So if you are not following me, you can follow me there, as well as like, retweet, etc., etc., so that we get more public visibility. Now let's head over to the actual webinar. We will start with the Euro USD, followed by EURCAD, USDJPY, EURJPY, and then crude gold, SPX Nifty, and last Bitcoin. So anyone else who has joined in, or whoever is present right now, if you can give me one final confirmation again before we actually start off with the webinar, that will be neat. Anyways, I'll just check. Okay, it looks like it's working fine. Dan is saying hello. Hi, Dan. Okay, so now let's head over and start our discussion with the chart of Euro USD on screen, right? So first things first, what was the discussion in the last webinar? We were thinking that this market is proceeding as a zigzag. Let me first of all clarify what we mean by that. So this is the starting point or the point of reference of discussion of this chart, 1.10328, right? And we were expecting that the market is going to give a minimum ABC leg down. So minimum ABC leg down should look something like this. The A leg should go down, B leg should go up, followed by the last leg, which should go again, of course, down. So on the real chart, it looked something like this. And based on that, our view was that if we see a break above the channel, this channel basically, or trend line in this case, right, then we will be interested in some possible trading opportunities, right? In this particular case, we do seem to have gotten a false break, right? Nothing tradable there, right? And if you are looking at breaks and want to get a more concrete trade setup, then the most or what do you call, not most, the best kind of setup is generally if the market breaks higher and then gives a retest of the trend line, right? So it will not always happen, right? But if you do wait for a setup like that, the chances of success in a trade becomes extremely high. So anyways, leaving that point aside because it doesn't really concern us in this particular discussion, what we are seeing right now is still a progression towards the downside. And in this particular case, I was thinking that it may have started itself as a diagonal, but this market has gone a little bit too much lower than this trend line. So in this particular case, I think, why does it keep switching to this color? Anyways, hopefully this color is not too bad. I'm trying to go to blue, but it just keeps reverting back to pink. Coming back to the point, what I was saying is that still it is possible that this is just not the clearest looking count, but I do not like it. And based on that, we have to consider the possibility that this market may be propagating for a stronger leg down, perhaps even as a 1 2 3 instead of an ABC. Right? So that possibility still remains, and we would now like to see what is the most bearish scenario. So I think we can just count it as the start of a leg down, like a 1 down, 2 up, and then a 1 of a lower degree, or 2 of a lower degree, and a 3 of a lower degree, and so on and so forth. We can take this trade or consider this count, right? So this is what the count is right now. However, I'm not particularly interested in taking right away shorts. Let me just actually push the counts on the actual chart. By the way, am I clear so far? Today the participation looks particularly small or low. Are you guys able to understand whatever I'm talking here? Thank you, Stock Hero 2, and then what is it? So I think this count itself is particularly quite clear now that I have pushed it on the chart. You know what? Give me a second. I'll just add some shorts on this counter while we talk further charts. Mm. By the way, nothing to add here. I am personally adding some shorts here. Of course, this is not a trading advice. If you do take your positions, take it based on your own understanding of this counter. Zero 06134. Okay, guys. So I have just entered some short trades here, and it also looks like you guys are clear with whatever we were discussing. Thank you for the confirmation done of programming. And let's head over to our next chart, which will be the chart of EURCAD. Okay, here on screen we have the chart of EURCAD. So last time when we were discussing it, we had a very clear view, and we were thinking that this market is heading higher, and the counts were updated live in front of you guys with the view that possibly we are seeing a diagonal formation like this expanding diagonal, and then there will be a letdown. So what I'm going to do is again push the actual counts here so that there is not much confusion left here. Right now the thing is, we don't really or exactly know if the 2 is already complete here or it will have one leg down remaining. So I'm not going to try and guess that. For that very reason, I have just placed the alert line over here. If it goes lower than this alert, basically it's just the recent low around 1.43317, right? So if it goes lower than this level, then I will start reanalyzing this chart and looking for basically long trading opportunities. Alternatively, if it goes higher than the not than the last high, but near the last high, if it goes near like 1.4427, then I will start looking for long trading opportunities. I don't even think we need to write that down. It's just the general understanding that the pattern is suggesting upward movement. So if it breaks the recent low, then we look for longs like this, or if it just breaks the highest rate of, then again we look for longs. So these are the two progressions. Draw them in different colors. So that's the way we think this counter can proceed. Lastly, we think it can take out the high of 1.46417, which is basically the last high. So that's my take about this particular counter of EURCAD. Let me know, guys, if there's any particular question you have in mind. If not, please do type in clear or understood in the comment section. Thank you, Charlie Rocks, for the confirmation. Okay. By the way, I had taken some longs on this counter at the break of this trend line. I did exit and I'm looking for re-entry. This is a trade we have been discussing for a long time in these chats. in this webinar. Sorry. So thank you for the confirmation then of programming. And what about the other participants? I'm watching and I'm observing that Fridays generally are seeing lesser participation, although I'm not sure why. USDJPY. So let's head over to USDJPY. Gamer IMX. What is IMX? If you're talking about some crypto thingy, I'm not tracking anything other than BTC. So let's head over to our next discussion, USDJPY. Now then. So if you guys are following me for the last few webinars, you already know that we were able to capture, or not capture, we were able to predict that there will be this leg up. When this market was somewhere here, we said that it will go up once, down, and then up again. Right. So as you can see with these arrows, I have not actually changed anything. This red line suggests that from this below, we will take a new leg up. And after that, we expect a leg lower. Right. So it has played precisely as we expected. Okay. Precisely as expected. So that makes our tally of the trades that have worked so far to 46. So basically, long story short, in the last 41 webinars, we have now 46 trades that have worked in our favor. And these are just the big moves that I'm talking about. Right. So now with that out of the way, let's see what this market is suggesting to us. This is basically the idea now. We think that if this market breaks this channel, the green channel basically, then we will be interested in taking some shorts. Those shorts will be short lived. So basically intraday kind of thing, you need to be not necessarily intraday, but you need to monitor it very closely, right? So what I'll do is I'll just place an alert over here for exiting the channel. If it does something else, then we will look at it at that point in time. Right now, this is the way we will proceed with the setup. Let me know if you have any particular questions or doubts about this counter. Long story short is we are looking for a sell-off, which can take this market to around 132.809 or lower levels, basically in this region. EURJPY is greater than something. Okay. So EURJPY was going to be our next chart for discussion. Anyways, you guys let me know if you have any doubts. If not, please do let me know by tapping in clear or something like understood in the comment section. What happened to Den of Programming Charles and Stock Hero? Thank you for the confirmation. Let's head over to the next chart, which is the one on screen, Euro against Japanese yen. Okay, so EURJPY, the situation is that we were thinking after this diagonal looking structure, this market will proceed lower. In the context of the same, I had taken some shorts, which I had to exit around somewhere here. So it was a little bit before we started this webinar. And the reason was that although count wise, we are thinking something like this. Let me clarify. Count wise, we are thinking that this is a possible zigzag looking structure. A up, B down, C up. So for those of you unaware of what I'm talking about, a zigzag will be a N type of pattern. First leg is called a A, next leg is called a B, and then next leg is called a C. So we were thinking that maybe the C was over here. If the C is complete, then the market starts the new leg down, which should, in theory and in practice, take it lower than the recent low, which is around 137.45 something. Now, all that is well and good count wise, but this market started giving very strong upward movement, which it is still continuing, by the way. And I did not like this. Particularly, it took out the important level as well, and then it was going with extremely strong looking candles. So that's why I exited this counter, right? If it is still continuing with the count we had on screen, this count, then we will again get opportunities when this market goes near 142.766, right? If it doesn't do that and takes out the high, then I'll be interested in taking longs on this counter. So that's why I'm placing an alert on the upside as well. So long story short is, if the market takes out the high, I'll be interested in some longs. And shorts, I'm not interested until it goes at least below 142.766, right? So only below this level I will consider taking shorts again, right? I think I've covered basically all the main things I wanted to discuss on this chart. If you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comments, or just type in understood or clear. I think Charles has a comment. I will attend all your live streams in future. Great information. Thank you. Well, that's very nice to know, Charles. So guys, please do let me know quickly in the comments about this particular chart before we move over to crude oil followed by gold. Thank you, Jill. And you are quite late today, but I guess it's morning time at your end. So let's head over to our next chart now. Crude, where are you? There it is. West Texas Intermediate, or simply speaking, crude oil futures. Now, what we have on screen here is nothing new, because this is the same analysis which we did the last time. Last time also we were saying that there is no update on crude oil, and this time again there is no update on crude oil. So I'll just quickly summarize based on the past count, of course, because it is still valid as is. There are two views we are following. One is the view that this market is forming a triangle, and once this triangle is complete, we will see downward movement, right? And that particular count will become activated below this low of 72.07, roughly speaking. And do keep in mind, I am using this data feed. If you are using a different data feed, your price values will be different. So instead of focusing on these numbers, pay attention to the levels I'm talking about actually on chart. So long story short, 72.07, we will start our bearish outlook and take it more seriously. And I'll personally will start thinking of executing some short trades on the counter. And alternatively, if this market is so as I was saying, alternatively, if this market is going for the upside movement, then we will only be interested above the recent high around 80.6, roughly speaking. Basically this high. And both possibilities are still valid. It is sort of more inclined towards bearishness as per my understanding, but still remains to be seen what will happen on the counter. Will not put any more time on this chart. Please do just type in clear very quickly before we move on to gold. Yeah, I forgot to ask, if you are on YouTube, hit the like button, and if you are on some other platform, use whatever alternate to likes or something like they have, right? And I will also like to request at this point if you guys can kindly share the content after this webinar is complete, because we still don't have as many views as there should have been. I have done 42 of these webinars, 41 of these webinars, sorry, this is the 42nd. So we should be crossing a good amount of views. I was thinking YouTube algorithm will do its part, but uh, you guys need to do your part as well. Can't leave everything in the hands of a unknown algorithm. Let's head over to gold now. I think Janus program is clear. Thank you. Jill is saying I trade SPX and BTC only. Okay, that's why you joined near the last minute. Gotcha. Gold is also seemingly going to give me a short trade entry very soon. It actually is already in or already initiated. But what I think is I can enter partial shorts. So, okay, let's see what gold's count really is suggesting. So, gold's count is suggesting basically sell off. So, give me a few seconds while I go ahead and enter some short trades here. All right, so I am in some short trades here now on gold. Again, it's not a trading recommendation or anything. There are trades coming in. So what can I do if not take them after I'm a full-time trader? That's my profession. So yeah, uh, talking and jibber jabber aside. So what's the count here? The count is suggesting that we are seemingly in a possibly what do you call strong downward movement, and looks like we are in sort of a nested formation here. Long story short is what I'm thinking is that this is going down for something like this. And within this progression down, this is called, by the way, an impulse down. Within this progression down, the 1 is complete, the 2 is complete, and within this 3, if we magnify this 3, it should look something like this. And I can represent that by Roman letters. This is called the fractal nature of Elliott waves in play right in front of you. So I think this is the fractal wave 1, the 2, and 3 is following, right? So if I'm right, it should move down. If I'm wrong, it will take out this 1835 level higher, and I'll probably book my losses somewhere here, which I have already placed the stop loss, so I don't have to manually do anything. Hopefully, if situation changes, then of course I'll look into it. So, anywho's, long story short, I just took a short trade in front of you guys because of this count. Either it will go like this or it will go straight down. Target wise, we can look at targets. There are many ways to do that, and I'm not necessarily a fan of looking for targets. Generally, the price action should be enough of a driving force to clarify when to exit. But oh well, let's just quickly mark the important ones like 61 and 100. Okay, guys, so nothing to add. I'm already short, so I'm already having a bias here. I have discussed the stop loss level and targets and everything. Let me know if you guys have any particular questions on this counter before we move over to the next chart of S&P's 500. Just enough programming. Your course is great. Thank you for making it. You're very welcome. I would appreciate if you can leave a detailed review other than just the ratings, because the reviews are important. Without the reviews, not much people are gonna become aware of the content. So please do leave a review there, detailed ones. Dr. Singh, I shared my link in with over 3,000 contacts. Hopefully the energy of guide them there, guide them here. Well, thank you very much for it, Charlie. Your efforts are definitely very helpful, and let's hope they come to fruition very soon. Where are we in the higher degrees? Asked Baldan of programming. Jill is saying clear. Sure, no problem. So where we are in the higher degree? Let me see. Well, in the higher degree, we seem to have started. This is the point of reference 1614. We have a wave A up, wave B down, and this is a C up. So another possibility is that this is just the one up, the two down, and the three up. But this looks too much of a drag for a four. Four generally do not look this fast or swift. So based on that, I'm more aligned with the ABC count. Long story short, if this is an A, this is a B, and this is a C, then we can either see something like this, or at least relax down, right? So little bit more downside should be seen, and I do not think that this market will take a stop anywhere other than this level, or basically a bigger stop anywhere where other than this support region around what is this 1785ish to 1730ish levels, right? So that's our long-term view. Three-way movement seems to have completed, giving rise to another three-leg down movement. If you want even further details, just check any of the past 3-4 webinars. I think around 36th or 35th webinar, somewhere there we have discussed it in detail. I'm not precisely sure. I probably should have taken a clip out of it and pushed it as a video on the channel. I simply do not seem to be having any time at all during the weekdays. I'm trading intraday, sometimes on indexes, then I have to trade the Forex and everything. So we'll see if I can do anything about it. But in the meanwhile, you have to do some checking out yourselves on my YouTube channel. Hopefully that clears out some of the doubts you might be having. Let's now head over to S&P's 500, guys. Ta-da. This was also the thumbnail image of this particular webinar, right? And let's see what is really happening here on the counter. So S&P's 500, I particularly think that this market is heading for at least, what is this? Yep, it should be heading down for an impulse, because we are in a possible flat correction, right? A flat correction on a higher time frame 4-watch. Let me just quickly show you. So from this point of reference, price level around 4145 something, we are seeing what we call a flat correction. Right? If you are not much familiar with the concepts in Elliott Wave, the flat should look something like this, and then this. We are particularly in this leg, the last leg basically. First leg down is, as you can see, A, B, and the C. So since we are in the C will have 5 waves inside of it, which are labeled as, you may have already guessed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it could either be an impulse or it could be a diagonal. In this particular case, seemingly it is moving down as a diagonal. So now that we know that this is our point of reference now, around the price level of 4195, we can just check out the counts here. It is sort of moving quite nicely and quite with strength to the downside, which is generally, or which does follow the looks we would like to see in a wave C. Now, where are we in the whole progression? As I said, the C wave should have 1 down, 2 up, 3, 4, and 5. We can just remove all this drama and just focus on this part. So we have seemingly already completed the 1 and the 2. Now we are currently within the 3, which should then be followed by up leg, and then there should be a 5. So long story short is that we should see a down and then another down. So 2 down legs we should see. And even if there is some, what do you call, update required in this count, if we are expecting 2 down legs, we should get at least 1 down leg, even if there is something wrong with the count, right? So long story short is we are looking for sell setups on this counter. I should have already entered shorts, but I was very busy today as for the whole week with many different trades, and I missed some good opportunities here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for some sort of pullback, 3 waves or something, whatever. And if I do get a clear one, I will look to enter shorts. Simplest thing, I'm just creating an alert for this channel. If it's broken, I'll reanalyze this counter and see if it's giving me any good shorting opportunity, right? So that's about it for S&P's 500. As far as the targets are concerned, 39.30, and furthermore if it falls 38.60. We have already discussed them in greater detail in the past webinars. So that's about it for this discussion. Let me know, guys, if you have any doubts, questions, or clarification required. If not, please do type in understood, clear, something like that before we move over to the next chart of Nifty 50, which will be followed by the last chart, BTC. And again, for those of you joining in late or watching it as a recording later on, please do make sure you have hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and the regular stuff. Hey, Philip Calphone, good morning. Thank you, Jill. Okay, so where is this last charts? Okay, so here is a chart of S&P's 500. Previously, if you have not seen my last webinars, I'll just like to quickly remind you guys that we were able to capture a very important movement on this chart, and that movement was the leg down, this leg down, right? So if you have not watched the last few recordings, we were able to, I was saying that below 17,760 we will be seeing downward movement, and the market then gapped below this level. So I was able to actually trade this part, and before that session I was already short, so I was able to take this gap down movement as well. And in the last session we discussed that the direction is not very clear, although my bias was bearish, but the direction in particular from a swing perspective was not clear. So my idea was that I will take sell trades on this counter. On every pullback I will look to add shorts, and that is exactly what happened in today's session. As you can see, where is the date? Yeah, so this is the session for the day, and this market has just given down legs. So intraday wise as well, it is following our idea, right? Like, let's see the counts, because most of you guys would be interested in checking out what's happening. So this is our point of reference for this counter around 18880. And as I've said many times that there are actually too many counts which can be said that this market is following, right? But today I like to bring your attention to a particularly bearish outlook here. That particularly bearish outlook is suggesting impulse to the downside, right? 1 second, let me just check one thing very quickly. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, it is not the best looking count, but it is suggesting extreme bearishness, right? So if we count the whole thing as impulse to the downside, we can say that this is a 1, this is a 2, followed by another 1, another 2, and then another one of a lower degree, let's say a Roman 1, and then a Roman 2. Now it is completely valid because wave 2, this wave 2 does not go higher than the last high, which was the wave 2 of the higher degree, right? Same goes for these wave 2s, right? As far as the structures are kind of unclear and can be counted in multiple different ways. So which is also the characteristic trait of corrections, which is what we have been taking this count as. We have been taking this count as a WXYXZ correction. So it can again still be counted like that, but I'm still pointing out this count because if this is the exact count, then we are in the third of the third of the third, right? You get the point, because we are in the Roman 3, which is a part of dot 3, which is a part of 3, right? So that basically gives a very, very bearish picture. Something like a gap down and a strong fall is what it will suggest. Again, we do not have any sort of confirmation, right? If you still want to count this as a WXYXZ or WXY correction, we have it counted like that in like all the last 5-6 webinars, I believe. So you can check the less bearish outlook there. I do not need to discuss it, I believe. Just check the 41st, 48th, or 39th, 38th webinar. So that also is suggesting downside, and this is extremely bearish case. Okay. Now, what is the downside going to look like? So if it's a WXY correction, then just a small movement below the low of 17,357 should be enough. So as soon as this market moves below this level, the WXYZ correction or the triple zigzag basically is complete. So long story short is, if this market is moving down as a correction, then we are only going to be able to confirm our movement to 17,352, let's say, and a little bit lower maybe, right? However, if it is an impulse, as we just pointed out, then it can have extremely bearish consequences. It can go to almost the same length it has gone down so far. So I'm not really interested in discussing the targets because we, as I said, do not have the confirmation for it. But I wanted to discuss the possibility. So that's our one view on Nifty. As I said, check the other views in the past webinars. Let me know if you have any particular questions on this counter before we move over to our next chart, BTC. Or please do type in quick confirmation like understood or something in the comment section. I understand the audio is getting a little bit delayed because I am restreaming via another platform. But it shouldn't be this delayed. Okay, thank you, Jill, for the confirmation. So let's head over to our last chart. But by the way, what about the other participants here? Or okay, gold is less than something. So working out in our favor. Okay, so let's leave that there and let's head over to our last chart, BTC. S&P is also falling with it. Okay. Okay, so BTC I discussed many times now, but still pointing it out for the new audience that we have been able to capture multiple legs on this counter, right? Clear big moves, I mean, not some minor small moves. We were in particular able to capture this leg up from around 17,600 to exactly to 21,550-ish level, this white box. We were able to capture it. Then we were able to capture this leg up as well. And currently our view is that If you were part of the webinar and you were able to capture this leg, then just trail it, right? Because it can indeed be continuing as a fifth up. And count wise, what we are looking at is a possible impulse. So impulse in Elliott Wave progressions are 5 wave movements, which will look something like this. And currently we are already in the fifth. So that's why I'm saying if the fifth is still continuing, then just trail your positions or trail your stop loss up and up, right? And once it's complete, your stop losses should get hit. Nothing new or fancy. It looks like I had an intermittent disconnection here on my end. Hopefully my stream is back online and you are able to hear me. Let me know if there is still an issue continuing here. So as I was saying, we are still expecting that this 5 is continuing, and if that is happening, then we should look like it should look like this. Right. So expected progression, and just trail your positions for now. So I do not think there is much to add here because we are already long. With that, I would say that we have completed all the main discussions we do in these webinars. And again, at the end, I would like to request you guys for hitting the like button and most importantly, sharing the content with the audience, with your groups. If you have some group of traders on Slack, Discord, whatever you guys are using, Telegram, please do share it there. If you have LinkedIn profiles, as Charles was having, he has shared my content on his LinkedIn. Do share it there. And whatever other social media, Twitter, etc., you have a room for sharing, please do share it because we are still not crossing the 400, 500 mark, which I had expected we would have crossed by the now. Okay. So that's about it from my end. And next, I'll see you guys on Monday. Okay. Charlie Rocks is saying, thank you so much. You're welcome, Charles. Philip is saying, thanks a lot. Welcome, Philip. Welcome, Jill. And Charles is saying, thanks, Nirav. We are greatly appreciated. You are very welcome, Charles. So, with that, I'll just close this discussion and I'll see you on Monday, guys. Bye.